to my kitchen. I wanted to take a brief moment, since we're at the midway point in the year, and talk about goals. It's time to go back and revisit those goals from January. If you were organized enough to write them down, it's time to get them back out. And if you were like me or most of us, it's time to go back through that mental list and review the goals that we set for ourselves in January. Check them out and see if there are ones that you've already nailed or finished and cross those off. Are there some that no longer apply? Did you, for example, plan to run a 10K this year and you've started running and found that you don't love running? Cross that off as well. You can add a new one if you want, but get it off the list so that you don't go back 6 months from now and think, oh, I'm a failure. Are there any that need to be revamped? Perhaps you thought about doing Pilates classes and found that you're never making it to the gym, that the schedule just doesn't work for you. Perhaps rewrite that goal, working in a DVD to your lifestyle. So examine your goals and think if there are any ways that you might tweak them so that you'll better be able to achieve them in the next 6 months. I also wanted to ask you to take a second and think about how you're doing with our misfit goals, how you're doing with the negative self-talk, the doing, not trying, the emotional eating. And if you've made any great strides and you want to share them below, it's the time to blow your horn. And if you've come up with any new tips or anything you've learned along the way and you want to share that, I'd love for you to leave it in the comments. For me, I've discovered that with the negative self-talk, I don't really thrive on the notion of talking to yourself like you would a best friend. For me, it more works to turn it inside out and think, if somebody else were to be saying this to me, whatever the negative self-chatter is, how would I react? And most of the time it would get my hackles up, and my response would be something along the mature lines of, bite me. So that has helped me to stop the negative self-chatter, just thinking, I would never put up with this from somebody else. So that's my tip, and I will see you tomorrow for tips and trends.